Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Vintage Story. So since last episode, I have been doing a bit of work. It's actually the 1st of February at the moment. A couple things, I was looking, and I've got about 3 months, roughly. A little bit less on my indigo milk caps, but I've got about 3 months on my jack-o'-lanterns and death cap mushrooms. So one thing I would like to do here fairly soon is I would like to break ground on what's going to be our apothecary area. We're not going to be building today, but that is something that we do need to keep in mind because I don't want my death caps and jack-o'-lanterns. I know where to get more because I've got jack-o'-lanterns back there and I've got death caps over the hill over there, kind of in the iron and resin area. I mean, I could always harvest more, but I'm wanting to get those planted here fairly soon, because what I have in mind is like a cellar that attaches to the apothecary area, and then in the back room, you know, a back cellar, there'll be kind of mushrooms for sort of discerning patrons. That'll be kind of our poisonous mushroom area. So I am wanting to get those put in here fairly soon, as well as the other mushrooms. I did make a few meals with ones that I had a lot of, like we've got orange oak bullets that I'm finishing off now, but and then I've been making a bunch more turnip and grain, and I can always harvest more. You know, I've got chicken of the woods and shiitake, and yeah, more chicken of the woods here, but and then I've got a bunch more back in there, but we're fine on vegetables, honestly. I'm still eating on a lot of turnips. But I did go ahead and I ran the path that kind of just runs around this circular area. We still have to add like seating and stuff, which will probably be chiseled benches here. And we've got to go flower collecting and stuff. We're going to do that in the spring, I think, when everything's green again. We're going to decorate this little area out a bit more. But I did go ahead. This is just birch and oak. So, and there is some smooth andesite. Today, we're going to be over in the forge. I have made more copper. I'm piling up our copper and made some more tools. I've also got more charcoal going at the moment. I cleared out what we had in there. We've actually got... oh yeah, and I got some smooth brown coal. When I cleared out the lignite vein that was over in the Copper Mountain mine that we had. So we're sitting on 255 brown coal, which is what I use to process my copper, and I use it to cook. And then we've also got 245 charcoal at the moment, which of course is what I use for the forge, and we're going to be using it today quite a bit. Also, I wanted to pop you over. I've been doing a little bit. I did clean up a couple copper mines, trying to get some of these, like these black nodes that we've got on the map. I've been trying to clean up some of those for those surface deposits. If you recall, there's been brown coal sitting here. And I did finally dig down and cleaned up the nuggets here, dug down, and this is the brown coal deposit. I have not mined all of it, but you can see it is fairly decent size. This is the section that runs back pretty far, and then this here. So I don't know how far down it goes, but probably not really far, because I imagine underneath this is probably chert. Yeah. So, but we should be able to pull a few more stacks of brown coal out of there as well, so probably try to do that here soon. But I did spend a little bit of time chiseling and just doing some assorted kind of mining and stuff around. Oh, also, over here we have fireclay bricks. These are not the ones that we ran at the back end of last episode. We actually have another 48 here. I did make another batch of fireclay bricks just so that we've got plenty, and I don't have to worry about them for a little bit. And I did spend about a day just harvesting clay, so we got more blue clay and more fire clay. Also, I did spend a night making shingles, and I made a Helvhammer mold, a hammer mold, like another hammer mold, lamalai, hoe, and then I made a bunch of jugs and crocks and flower pots and planters to get us ready for spring in these two cases especially. Also comes spring, since we do have our honey built up. I like to keep a stockpile of honey, but then our bees will be running again, and we will start making jam. So we have a lot to look forward to in the spring. Alright, so what we're going to do today, of course, we are going to start into processing some iron. Also, I will probably, while we are doing that, I'm going to go ahead and run these molds real quick. I did mess up in the fall. I should have spent a few days gathering grass that wasn't for thatch roofs. You know, I was gathering so much grass for thatch roofs, and I did not, actually all the dry grass that I have left is here. Now granted, I can farm dried grass, but it's a little bit more of a process in the winter because I've got to clear the snow to get to the grass. You know, it's a little bit more of a headache. So whenever spring hits, I need to spend a few days gathering grass. But of course, by then we should have lots of iron scythes, so it shouldn't be too bad for us. And two things that really make me extremely happy is being able to pour my molds and them not be sitting on the ground in a pile. And also do my clay work and my charcoal in a proper place that once again is not just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. It's been so nice. So nice. Alright, let's go ahead. Oh, and I did run out the, that's one thing I meant to mention. I did run out the bronze pick, and I got another 51 magnetite from down there. Still haven't seen the end of the iron. So once we make an iron pick, we're going to go back down there probably this episode and probably finish mining out that magnetite node that we found, you know, during the last episode. And I also mined out a galena node that was over near that. It was right in here. That was down in like a cave. Only found 15 in there, but we do have a little bit more galena than what we have over there. So, and I'm not processing down all of my copper. I have a bunch more over there, and of course that's in case we want to make you know, alloys or something with it. And the recipes for the bloomeries, we're actually going to make. Let's go ahead and make 4. So we're going to make 4 bloomery chimneys. And the recipes, they take exactly 12 clay bricks, which is exactly what you can fire. So it's actually kind of a convenient number, to be honest. So we've got enough here to make, we should have enough, yeah, we got enough to make 8 bloomeries in total. So, but we're going to start out with half that number. I think we can pull off half that number. Yeah, it's be fine. All this snow. Too much snow. I want to say, I don't usually set up my bloomeries right next to a fence. I want to say that bloomeries will not catch fences on fire. But if something happens and we have a fire, we'll deal with that. Worst comes to worst, it's just going to burn everything here. But I don't think so. That's why I spaced these out, because these will catch things on fire. I know that from experience. But I want to say bloomeries will not. So we're going to be setting up 4 of them. We're going to be bulk processing. I should have actually left a proper place to put bloomeries, because I didn't. Here. Yeah, that looks great. They're temporary anyway, so. Okay, and then we're going to put on our chimneys on top. And basically this forms kind of like a little multi-block here. Alright, now what we're going to do, let's get ourselves a bit of charcoal. You can't use brown coal with this. You're going to have to use charcoal or like black coal or something for that. And let's get out our iron. And then we're going to grab, let's go ahead and grab these 2 hammers for today. If I recall, I can still break this down. Yeah, I can break this down with a copper hammer. This we're just going to need to process on the anvil. But I think, let's see. Usually I have a little bit longer of a bronze age, so I'm already on bronze tools before I start iron. I've never really had this situation where I'm loaded on iron, but I'm low on bronze. But I think that we can use the copper hammer. We're going to try it. I think we can use the copper hammer to break down the bloom. But we're just going to have to use this to process the ingot. I think. But we'll find out. We're going to break down a bit of this. Actually, I'm going to be shooting for... I'm running 4 bloomeries. So let's see if we can get... let's just process all of it. We got bismuth, galena, silver. Actually, might... No, we got more over here, though. Oh, yeah. I got a lot more. I was like, is that really all the magnetite I have? But no, I have so much magnetite. That's going to be good. And while I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and just break that down. We'll dump it over there. And let's pack this over. Let's go ahead and we're going to put in 120 nuggets of magnetite in each of these. Not going to lie, being able to do this at the scale of 4 bloomeries and still have probably enough magnetite to run another 4 bloomeries or close to it, and I know I can get another 4 bloomeries worth, as soon as we start the Iron Age, this is actually really, really nice. Usually it doesn't work out like this, but in my experience, but we've gotten fairly lucky here. Our world has been quite good to us. Let me dump this and all of this, yeah, for now. Okay, and then we're going to take, and we are going to be adding in charcoal. It's going to be 6 charcoal. It's basically 1 per ingot. It's not going to accept more than it can use, though. So if you only have, I think, used to it did. You had to actually do the math. You know, around the time we did the last Vintage Story series, we had to actually math it out and say, well, we're going to be making 4 ingots, so let's put in 4 pieces of charcoal. But now, it's only going to accept as much as you can actually make use of. So we're going to be making a good 24 blooms right here. So we're going to go ahead and light these, and we're going to find out if our base burns or not. But our bloomeries are going to be cooking away now, and I think they're going to be fine. I don't think they're going to set this stuff on fire, because it's kind of like more of a controlled fire, whereas, you know, these are just kind of like exposed fire, so I think we'll be good. But these bloomeries, they'll take a little while to run, so it's not something that we really need to sit and watch. And as we start moving into iron, we're not going to be able to use our tool molds for processing that. We will still probably, well, ideally we won't use our tool molds much at all moving forward. But we're going to go ahead and make up these bloomeries and just kind of store these in here so we've got them made up. Because whenever it comes time to get our blooms out, of course, we are going to have to bust these bloomeries. But we do get back some bricks. But fire clay will be something that we do have to kind of go back out. Make sure we kind of keep a stockpile on hand. But our initial investment into fire bricks will go pretty far. For sure. So we do have a medium temporal storm that's on the way. We probably won't be working blooms until that temporal storm has passed. Because I would hate to be out with a bunch of heated metal and then the temporal storm hit. But yeah, at this point, we've got enough brown coal. This is pretty much exclusively what I use for cooking and doing copper and stuff with kind of lower temperatures. Charcoal is going to be mainly just for iron and, you know, stuff like that. And for running the forge, I like it for running the forge. And then firewood, I mostly use that at this point just for warming myself up, and then I use it for, you know, doing the clay. So, kind of everything sort of has its own use at the moment. But I got 2 at 19, 2 stacks and 19 more brown coal. So it's actually really nice having that little brown coal mine right there. I'm going to be able to get close to filling out this oak crate just from that one. Well, those 2. There was that one too, but I'll be able to finish it out close to off of that vein. Alright, so the temporal storm, I need to just do a little bit of setup. I need to go grab some more bandages real quick. Oh, and I like to have trap doors. I think they're over there in that forge chest, because I cleaned out our dump chest. So yeah, so let's grab these. I got to clean that out. Well, actually, one other thing I'd like to make sure that I've got on hand is a temporal gear, just in case we have to crush it. I think I'd like to have one, so let's grab that. We're going to have to go hunting, like in the deep caves, to try to get ourselves some metal scrap at some point, just so we can fix one of these two translocators that we've got nearby, because I've got enough temporal gears at this point. And I might as well check the resin while I'm here. I think this is the next one that's coming in. I think. What's crazy, this is the third temporal storm that I've had in winter. Like, they have seemed bound and determined that I'm just going to be temporal storming it out all through the winter. Which I don't know that I'll get it all harvested before the storm hits, but we'll see. But I think tonight, I would like to get just a little bit more frisky with the drifters. Probably a really good place to bunker down would be the forge, though. In that little storage closet, because it's so small. Yeah, I'm going to need to do another batch, for sure, because I'm only at 340 charcoal. Oh, our bloomeries are done. You can see we've got 6 iron blooms in each of these, so we're going to go ahead. I actually think we can break these by hand, but pick... Actually, pick's not really much faster than by hand. So we did get some iron blooms. Now, unfortunately, I was really hoping to move to processing, because you can see these are still warm. But with the temporal storm coming, I think we're going to have to just break these and take them out. Because ideally, we would get them right after processing, and then we'd be able to heat these up fairly quickly, because they're already at a good temperature. But with the temporal storm coming, I don't think that's going to happen. So we're going to set this onto the forge, and I really need some storage over here. I'll have to take that into consideration, but probably just hold on to these. But we do have 24 blooms, which is going to lead us to 24 ingots. We just kind of have a little bit of a processing step before we can do that. I might try setting up at the forge, actually. Because I think that little storage closet would be a really good place to set up. And we'll go ahead and get this defended out. Temporal storm is imminent. We're going to close that off. Then we got the door here. And that way we can open this and we can fight through it. And then maybe we can take on some drifters. We may still take some damage, but this is generally going to block their stones. And we can also just kind of poke them through with our sword and see how many we can kill. It's going to be a little bit hard to harvest them until the storm's over. And the place is probably going to be swarming with drifters. But we do have those outer walls, like the fences. Oh, we got our first... hey, come back here. They're just like, nah, you're fine. Oh, there's one. Nightmare Drifter. Now, of course, I can still take damage. But generally, it's a little bit easier to avoid like this. This has now become the battle cellar. Oh, my gosh. That's the only thing you got to watch out for is when they see you, but you don't see them. But as long as we don't open, you know, both trap doors, they shouldn't be able to get to us. But we're just going to kind of have to ping them and hope that we kill them. Which it takes me so many hits with this copper weapon. Oh, this one would be perfect. Oh, and there's a nightmare right there, too. Stay there. No, don't go. This was never my intended plan for this, but... Oh, we got him. Hey, hey. Yeah, there we go. We're starting to get into the groove of things here. Oh, I missed you. That one's dead too. Yeah, there's 4 down. We got, I mean, a lot of these are just like deep drifters and stuff. They're probably not going to have much on them. I was hoping for one of those, like, the twin ones. Like, I got one of those one night. I just had the trapdoors, you know, set up at the cellar. And I got one of those twins. Unfortunately, it wasn't like... sometimes I can't record, you know, if it's like family time or whatever. And it wasn't at a time that I could record, but I had one outside the door, stabbed him to death. Did hit me one time, and got me down, like, below half health, like massive damage. But I actually pulled eight gears off of that one. And that's what I was really hoping for. I don't know... I know they can give, like, a lot of gears, and they can give, like, barely any gears. Sometimes you get lucky. But I think some of these can also give metal scrap, right? There's, like... I'm trying to think of where I've gotten metal scrap from in the past. And I think there's a drifter that can give it. That one didn't give anything. Man, our forge is actually cleared. Like, we've been wiping them out here. Like, a part of me wants to actually open these and, like, step out, but... I'm waiting for the temporal storm to pass. I know there's some behind here, but... maybe once the storm's over, we can possibly pull some of them over and kill them, but... I really want to... I just want to see if you got anything. Nope, you don't have anything. The ones that I really want to get over to, like the corrupt one. It doesn't actually seem like... Oh, come on. Flax fiber, really? Oh, here's a nightmare. Oh, man. So unlucky. What is this? I'll continue to wait. Like I said, I could probably... I don't know. If I had this place set up just a little bit better for storms, we could get them out the back too. But trapdoors are like the best thing ever. Because I kind of have just like this little murder hole here. Alright, I think it's getting close to ending. You can usually kind of tell whenever the sound kind of starts dying down. I should have brought... Well, I don't need to nap. I've got an axe right over there. But yeah, I like this spot. The cellar has been fine, but the one time I had a drifter spawn in there. And he kind of caught me off guard, so I had to run out the door, run around and kite drifters while I healed myself up and then went back in there. It was just like a deep drifter. So it wasn't like that big of a concern. But he caught me off guard, and I wasn't paying attention, and it scared me, and I ran out the door thinking it was something. Yeah, okay, it's waning now. Alright, so at this point... Alright. Let's see if... Does anybody see me? You see me. Can you climb over that, or can you not? That is a tainted. Might try to poke him a little bit. Nightmare. Tainted. Tainted. Oh, gosh. That's the times when it gets scary. Like, he must have been on my roof somewhere. It's a corrupt. Okay, you don't actually deal a lot of damage through our armor. Oh, I thought you were dead. You gotta be getting close to dead, guy. You've taken a lot of damage. Now it's back to happy music. Okay, now are we good? Are we good, guys? I think we are. I think we are. Okay. Come on, something good, please. Oh, man. But I'm surprised I didn't even get a temporal gear tonight. Let's see if we can aggro something. I'd like to do just a little bit of cleanup here. Come here. There's a double header. Now we want to make sure that we don't get hit by that double header, because they actually hit excessively hard. They're hard to hit in that snow. Now the rocks, they don't really do a whole lot of damage with the rocks, but no, you're the one I want. Your friend is attacking you. Come on. Just walk up to the fence. It's alright. Don't worry about it. But it could also be, because I think if they get partially eaten, because we had our bodies out there for a while, I couldn't get to them. And if they get partially eaten, I think they lose some loot. It always seems like if I don't harvest them like soon after death. Okay. We killed a double header. I am happy for that. I do see one. Oh, we got a rusty gear off of that one. That's not the double header, though. Come on. 6 rusty gears, temporal gear. Yes. Okay. Okay. So we got 7 rusty gears. Anybody else want to go? It's just a tainted. I'll just take him on. I'm not going to worry about kiting him over. Usually don't get too lucky on these, but it's worth a shot. Oh, 8 rusty gears tonight. Awesome. We're actually going to be sitting pretty good on rusty gears. Like, honestly, once you have a few copper blades, I mean, yeah, you got to cheese them, because double-headed drifter will kill you in like 2 hits, but it's okay. Just cheese them. Get free money. Down the road, yeah, we'll probably get out at night and run around and just beat everything to death. And chase them down like we do wolves, but right now, I'm going to cheese them. Alright, so we are sitting on a cool 20 rusty gears now. But we're going to wait for this to warm up, get it nice and hot, and we're going to see. I think we can break off the bits of the bloom with the copper hammer, and then I think we're going to try it. Because usually, like I said, usually I will have been in the Bronze Age for some time before I start into iron, but the way it worked out and kind of the luck that we had, we barely have any bronze. I do plan on mining a lot more for it, but I think we're going to do that with iron tools instead of copper, because we have a lot of iron. It's been a strange series for me. It usually doesn't work out this way, but I will take it. Iron's better, so let's go ahead. Throw in another so that one can start heating up. We're going to set this down and go ahead. We're going to set it to split, and we're going to start breaking off. Yes, copper will work for this part. But we're going to start breaking off these bits. Probably rotate this, a little bit easier to rotate. Now that we've got our forge laid out, kind of how it's going to be, it's at this point probably not going to run around it because I got that forge in the way now. Alright, and now we're going to set this to upset, and we're going to start moving things. And remember that these little pieces that are off on the side, you can move these up and over if you need to. As long as they're not connected to something else. So, for example, this one here, I'm not going to be able to move it up and over, but I can move this one up on top, you know. How did you... Oh. I moved and I smacked that. That's fine. There we go. I think that's everything. Then we just have to split off these pieces. There we go. And we got our very first iron ingot. Now at this point, technically it's hot enough. We can go ahead and make something out of it. And this very first one, we are going to go with an iron hammerhead, I do believe. Now this part, we're pretty much going to have to... Oh, we can do it with the copper hammer. Okay. I was thinking, like I said, I don't normally have copper tools whenever I start the Iron Age. But I always thought... I have to move this out of the way. Move these up. But I always thought you had to have bronze tools to work this stuff, but that is not the case. See, you learn something all the time. These, and there we go. We got a hammerhead. Alright, now let's do another one. I'm probably going to have to add a little bit more fuel. And we'll go ahead and process down another one of these guys. Try to take off these big chunks first. And if you have an idea of like the stuff you're going to want, it's really easy to just go ahead and go straight into kind of processing the tool, or the ingot, you know, because it's already warmed up. I know I could rotate it, but I'm just going to come around the side here and get that. But if you just want the ingot, you know, you can just leave it as the ingot as well. So. We had a lot of excess voxels this time. You know, you may end up with a lot, because like I've already made the ingot and I've got all this that has to be split off. And we're going to go ahead at this point. Let's see. Let's make... I need so many things. So many things. Let's go ahead and do a long blade at this point. Luckily, I've got a bunch of hammers made up, so... And then we're going to make a pick. And at this point, you will be using the forge an absolute ton. So, but yeah, so you don't actually have to have the bronze hammer, so that's kind of nice. You do still have to have that anvil, so... but just bear in mind, you know, we went with 10 bronze, but you might... but you may have black bronze or bismuth bronze. You know, we could pretty easily get bismuth bronze at this point if we wanted to, if we were to just go and pan for the zinc. But of course, we don't necessarily have to have that at the moment. All right, let's get pickaxe for sure. Probably make a few of these. But I'm going to spend a little bit of time working the forge for a bit. I'm so excited. So excited to have iron tools. So I'm going to make us up a bunch of tools. Probably this first 24 blooms are probably going to be used primarily for just making tools. Like, I'd love to get a stockpile of ingots, but I also know that I'm in a dire need for tools at this point. So I'm probably just going to be making mass tools, because I like to have a nice stockpile, and since I'm going to be working the forge, this is what all of our charcoal stockpiling has been for. Is for this day, this wonderful day. So I'm going to continue working this for a bit. I will be back in a little bit. Alright, I have managed to smith all through the night. The sun is starting to come up. I did get a temporal gear, because I've been being attacked by lurkers this whole time, like during the night. At the moment, I've got 8 more, and then I've got 1 in the forge and 1 on the anvil here that I'm working. But I'm going to have to take stock. Here in a second, I've got to go get food, because I've been working... I've been working the anvil all the night. And I need to take stock of kind of where I'm at on tools. There's certain tools that I'm trying to prioritize a little bit. Of course, like getting picks and getting hammers is important. I like to stay stocked on those. I haven't made any axes or shovels or hoes as of yet. I probably will, because I do still have a bit of ingots worth, but those are some tools that I have not made yet. Now that being said, we don't have to worry too much because yeah, those are all ground level. Okay. But that being said, we don't have to worry too much because of course we do still have a lot of magnetite, and we're going to be going and mining more magnetite. So if we end up short on any tools in particular, then we can easily make we can easily fix that. Also, the anvil we will make, that we're not going to be able to take straight from ingots onto the forge. The same is pretty much true for anything that takes 2 ingots. Most likely, you may still have them hot enough to work both of them, you know, as you break them down, but like iron plates, it's not likely that you're going to be able to make an anvil to go straight into an anvil, but it is possible. It's just not likely. Make another pick and another hammer, I think, with these two. And then I should be good on picks and hammers at that point. And then I'll go get food, and then I'll work these last 2, or these last 8. We got lots of charcoal, and that's why I like to stay stocked on charcoal, because I like to do a lot of big smithing, where we take a lot of ingots and we do a lot of tools at once. Not to mention, I'd like to, here pretty soon, get a good stockpile of just ingots. Just raw ingots piled up of, like, magnetite. There's something really rewarding about whenever you have a lot of, like, big ingot piles on Vintage Story. Because it takes a fair amount of ore to make an ingot pile. So, you know that you're in a good spot whenever you've got an ingot pile of something. Or in a good spot for a while, anyways. I never like to rest on my laurels and stop mining, though. There we go. Our last tool for round 1. We still have 6 blooms left, though. Okay, so we are... I need sticks. Do I have sticks? I do. I'm going to go ahead and hang up some of these tools. But that's going to put me at 4 hammers. I'm not going to break that hammer. Iron stuff, super durability. You can see 1800 durability. I'm not going to break this one, so I'll have a full rack of hammers. And then I'll have a full rack worth of picks. I love it. Let's hang these suckers up. I gotta get my temporal stability up too, because it's not bad. I'm surprised I was actually able to smith the whole night like that, and it not go lower than it is. But and then I'll have and I'll have a pick to carry with me. This is gonna go over here. I need to make another chisel and another saw for sure. And then we're going to have our stuff for dealing with, like, grass and things. So we're going to have our scythes and our shears. And then we'll have another scythe, another shear. I need another saw, another chisel. Stuff like axes, let's see, axes, shovels, hoes, tend to be, like, my back priority things. Like, I mean, worst comes to worst, I'm fine using a copper shovel. Because it's still plenty fast. But I do like to have iron ones, you know, because they're cool to have. I'm probably going to make up, because now I really need to figure out what I actually need, because I've just been making tools, kind of based on what I would probably need. Oh yeah, I need to do my stability break in just a moment. But I need to make another long blade, scythe, shears, chisel, saw. That's 5. And then I'll probably just use the remainder. Yeah, so I'll do 3 more long blades. 4. We'll make 4 more long blades. Might as well. There's no reason to skimp on it, and that way I've got 1 to carry with me. We'll probably use this copper one just for decoration, or like emergency, like, oh, I'm out of blades. I need a blade bad. Give me this copper dinky thing. But yeah, so I'll make 4 more long blades. That way we have a full rack and we got 1 to carry with us. I'll tell you what, because I want to get back over there and get smithing, we are going to crack down our very first temporal gear. So if you put it in your offhand, you hold right click. If you got a lot of these, You can see my temporal stability jumped up. Took a little bit of damage, not a big deal. And that way I can get back over here and get smithing again. Because I got works to do. Of course, I built my forge. It's probably the one building that, you know, you don't want. If you do a lot of smithing, I love to just sit and smith for hours. This is probably the worst building to have here. But this is just our first forge. We'll be building more, so I'm not that worried about it long term. But alright, we are on our very last bloom now. Got a little bit extra fuel. I don't really worry about it. I just like to be able to just constantly hammer things out. And my my blooms are always heated, so I could wait just a little bit to put the bloom in, but I need a chisel, I think. Let me get these hung up, and we will be sitting good with a lot of tools. And that means we no longer have to make these on demand. We can pretty much just have them ready and waiting for us. Because in order to hang that up, I had to move that knife. This is my junk copper tool collection. I am going to be setting up a lot more tool racks inside. Oh yeah, I have these tool racks in here. Yeah, this would be perfect. To just hang all these copper tools. Because, you know, you never want to throw stuff away. But, we won't be using them anytime soon. Now wait, I had a oh, there's my prospecting pick. Okay. We'll do like prospecting pick and knife on this one. That should be good. So I do need to make another prospecting pick, another knife. That's fine, and that's probably about the numbers I'd like to have. I do still have this. I have a ton of knives still made up. Actually, over there, stone ones, but... Okay, now we are going to head over and go mine up the last little bit of iron. Let me dump off this hammer and this coal. Let's go ahead and mine up, I guess, all of this. I'm assuming it's not going to be more than a pick's worth to break all of this. If it is, I'm not going to complain. I'll go back up happily and get another pick. I'm actually finding a bit more iron up above that too. Because we're actually above the main vein where we have been digging. So I'll probably have to like really excavate this area out a bit just to make sure that we get all of it. Because iron is so valuable, really. And iron's going to be the basis for our empire. It's going to be great. Because we got a lot of it. And it seems like this area is probably going to be pretty ripe with iron. My temporal stability is getting bad, so I'm probably going to head up. At least briefly, just to get it back up. But I think we've actually gotten the majority. I've still got to dig up. Like I said, I've still got a bit up above it. Yeah, I got to get up bad. I mean, the damage isn't too bad, but I'm going to come down here and get all this saltpeter too. And I think there's probably still copper behind that saltpeter. But we actually did get all the visible iron that trip. But like I said, there's still a bunch hidden behind stone. Let's see, we got 2 stacks, 6 and 2 crystallized chunks on that trip. Like I said, there's a bit more. That seems like it's going to be about the majority that I'm going to pull from that, but we got like, I don't know, like 4 stacks of magnetite from that vein, and we should have enough to make another batch, get another batch of blooms going. Oh, we got resin today off of this one. Oh, this one is up. At a distance, it looked like it wasn't, but I'm glad I double-checked it on my way back. Let me double-check this one, because I look at them at a distance, and sometimes, depending on the lighting, it's hard to tell if there's actually resin leaking out of it. Alright, so we got 2 resin today, so that's good. Huh. Okay. Any leather for me? It looks like 2 on top of each other, kind of. Red meat. It is 2 on top of each other. Here's more resin for my collection. So we're up to 12 resin, which is pretty good at the moment. I got so much iron. Like, look at this. All this iron. It's a beautiful, beautiful sight. Almost 4 stacks. Technically, 4 stacks plus. They're all poor, but, you know, like I've said before, we don't really care. Iron's iron. Fill ourselves up some bloomeries here. But what I have planned, I would like to have at least this batch and 1 more, which I don't know. Can we pull 1 more out of this? No, we can pull three bloomeries out of it, but we will need a little bit more iron. But probably if I hit up that iron vein again. Okay, I did a bit of clearing and no luck. All we're going to get out of this is 27 nuggets, so we're not going to have enough to run the bloomery off of this. So woe is me, but that's okay. We got 2 full bloomery runs and almost a third one, you know, with 4 bloomeries, of course. Anyways, I know that it's wrapping up point for this episode, so we're going to end this one out here. I will say I will probably start digging, kind of at my leisure, digging some of those vertical shafts down, see if we find any iron. And so if I do, I'll show it to you guys. If we come across any resources, maybe between episodes as I'm digging or something like that, I'll make sure and save them for you guys. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.